Coming up, police here in Northwest Florida have been working on a most unusual case tonight. It's all about something that got lost.
Also coming up, a car repair shop is raided in Florida after allegedly cheating people on car repairs.
And we'll talk about a possible pay raise for people making minimum wage. We're talking about a raise of 52%. 13 Eyewitness News is next.
TV 13 strong.
This is 13 Eyewitness News with Ed Bradford, Kathy Oliver, Paul Joseph with sports, and Captain Norm Miller with the most dependable weather forecast in Northwest Florida. And now, 13 Eyewitness News.
Good evening, everyone. It has been another big primary Tuesday in the presidential race of 1992.
And no matter who you're supporting, it seems there's some good news for just about everybody tonight. Bill Clinton with a big win in Georgia, Paul Tsongas with a victory in Maryland, and Jerry Brown surprisingly strong against both Clinton and Tsongas in Colorado. On the Republican side, President Bush wins Georgia, Maryland, and Colorado, but challenger Pat Buchanan very strong in Georgia. We'll have a lot more on Nightline tonight at 11:30. Now checking with our neighbors in southwest Georgia, in Seminole County, Georgia. Obviously, it was primary day for them today, but less than 20% of the people in this area turned out to vote to cast a ballot in today's presidential primary. Crossover voting is allowed in Georgia, and that was the case today in the town of Donaldsville, a community located just north of us on the Florida state line. But election officials say it's disappointing that so few people turned out to vote today. They say there's usually more interest in state and local elections.
In other news, opening arguments and testimony from state witnesses today in the first-degree murder trial of Thomas Badger. The 19-year-old drifter is charged with first-degree murder, robbery, and grand theft in connection with the stabbing death of Ronnie Rogers last spring. The pair allegedly met in a local gay bar where Badger once worked as a stripper. The state claims Badger killed Rogers, then stole his car and some personal property, and later bragged to friends about killing a homosexual. The defense claims Badger committed that crime only after Rogers sexually assaulted him. If found guilty of murder in the first degree, Badger could get the death penalty. The trial picks up again tomorrow. A Holmes County man would have been celebrating his birthday, but it was cut short by an accident. 23-year-old Danny Mayton died in a car crash last night along County Road 177A. Mayton was riding in a truck that flipped over. The driver suffered only some minor injuries. The Highway Patrol is still investigating. In Michigan, it was a mid-air crash of two military fighter planes. One pilot was killed. The other was able to parachute to safety. The mid-air crash happened near Elkton, Michigan. Reports say debris from the F-16s is scattered for miles. The planes were based out of Selfridge Air National Guard Base in Mount Clemens, and they were on a routine training mission at the time of the crash.
Here at home, the Florida Highway Patrol found itself working on another accident involving planes tonight, this one on the ground, and this one was a very strange one. A truck carrying airplane parts had an embarrassing problem tonight on I-10. Now, this truck pulled up in Tallahassee, and that's when the driver discovered that he had lost something. He had lost a jet plane nose cone, and this nose cone is worth $200,000. Well, the call went out to all Highway Patrol cars tonight who were cruising I-10 to try to find this lost $200,000 part. And I mean, they were looking for this thing everywhere between Bonifay and Tallahassee. Well, they finally did find it just a few minutes ago in Madison County. Lynn Haven City Commissioners met with their City Planning Board tonight to review amendments to the city's comprehensive plan. Commissioners careful to make sure the wording of the plans for future utilities improvements does not limit their options in finding a solution to those sewer problems. Commissioners are also concerned that the conditions of the plan may be unduly expensive for the city's residents. They say they'll be looking to cut back on some levels of government services that the plan calls for. Charter boat captains in Bay County got the commissioners on their side today. The commissioners agreeing to send a resolution to the governor and to our state lawmakers to give them a break, give the charter boat captains a break on sales taxes. Our state leaders want to take away a lot of sales tax exemptions to make some headway on the massive state budget deficit. They'd like to take away the charter boat sales tax exemption. But the boat captains say if they have to pay this tax, they'll have to raise prices. And then they say they'll lose a lot of fishermen to Alabama boats.
Two local programs aimed at cutting out smoking from the workplace are meeting with success. The City of Panama City and Sun Commercial Bank have started smoke-free workplace policies. Employees who smoke but only do so in designated areas. The Sun Bank says most of its employees do not smoke, and so they readily embrace this program. Panama City officials say the same is true with their program, but employees who do smoke object to these designated areas. They say they'd like something a little nicer. Well, after weeks of not knowing what was going on, listeners of a Panama City Beach radio station may now have some answers. WPFM went off the air earlier this year as a result of some financial problems. And for a while, there was dead air. Then last week, some strange tones and garbled messages came on the air. But finally today at 3 o'clock, the station kicked off its new format. Power 108 is now broadcasting around the clock.
Checking other things happening around our state of Florida, the City Commission in West Palm Beach voting no to renaming Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard. City leaders say that business owners along the street were against renaming it for Dr. King, but critics say it's an example of racism in West Palm Beach.
A teacher and an accountant are now suing the Florida Lottery. They say the state has broken a promise to us that lottery money would be used for extra money for our schools. The lawsuit claims the lottery money is now being used for basic education money, not extra money as promised.
Some tough words today by Democratic presidential candidate Bill Clinton in front of a Jewish audience in Delray Beach. Clinton asking the crowd, why is President Bush always pushing Israel around and never saying anything bad about the Arabs? And in front of that audience, that speech went over well. Coming up tonight, if you're making minimum wage right now, how would you like a pay raise? A pay raise of 52%. Some people want to make it law here in Florida.
Also, some Florida police take it seriously when they say they catch a car repair shop cheating people on car repair jobs. We'll have those stories and more after this.
Clouds are rolling in. We'll have some rain within about 36 hours. Details later on 13 Eyewitness News.
How much would you pay for these 10 amazing Shoney shrimp? $10.99? $12.99? But wait, imagine also receiving your choice of rice or potato. Now how much would you pay? $13.99? $14.99? But wait, before you answer, picture this. We'll also add Shoney's all-you-care-to-eat soup, salad, and fruit bar. Now how much would you pay? $18.99? $19.99? No! Right now you'll receive this entire meal for the amazing low price of just $4.99. Order today.
Your Ford dealer's F-150 has always been built Ford tough. And with payments starting at $197, this F-150 is so affordable, it's scary. You'll be crazy about the extras. Air, AM, FM stereo with clock and style steel wheels. Just $197 a month, you'll go ape. The new F-150 is tough with a payment that's tough to beat. So swing on over to your local Ford dealer for a pretty handsome payment.
But first, may we have weapons on the sofa?
Hey, search me. I'm clean.
Kaleidoscope Theater celebrates their 21st season with a suspense thriller by Frederick Knotts. Wait Until Dark. To outwit a group of terrorists. It's a great performance for all ages. Tickets on sale now at Kaleidoscope Theater, just off Highway 77 at the Lynn Haven Post Office. Call for information and performance times. Wait Until Dark. A Kaleidoscope Theater production.
Domestic Laundry and Cleaners announces the opening of another location on East Highway 98 near Tyndall. Domestic Downtown has long had the reputation for fast service and superb cleaning. Our two processes for wool and silk take extra care of your fine goods. Domestic Laundry and Cleaners has the largest cleaning machines in this area to handle those big items. Remember, Domestic Laundry and Cleaners has 3 locations to serve you. On Grace Avenue downtown, in the Albertsons Plaza, and now on East Highway 98 near Tyndall.
You're watching WMBB TV, 13 Eyewitness News.
There was another unusual police raid today in Florida.
As you may remember, last night it was stolen gators, and today police surrounded and raided not a drug dealer or a liquor house, but an auto repair shop. The police say the man who runs that shop has been cheating people on car repairs. Ross Cabot has more from Palm Bay, Florida.
The business day ended early at Automotive Plus and at Nationwide Transmission. Police from 4 agencies moved in, sealed off the entire area, and took customers like Larry Zinsmeister by surprise.
We were writing up the invoice, and next thing I know, the place was surrounded. Surrounded with police. Had no idea what was going on.
Can you comment about the raid today? Police say George Demcack runs his auto repair business by ripping off customers by either doing unnecessary work or not doing work they said they did. Some of Demcac's former employees went to Palm Bay Police, who then did an undercover operation. Police hope to finally shut this place down.
You hope that the businesses that you deal with are honest and will treat you fairly, and it's just really disappointing when you have to come back to a place twice. All those parts are going to go.
As investigators confiscated most of the business, Demcac's attorney denied this was a crooked operation, calling this entire operation harassment.
Ross Cabot, Florida News Network.
How many people are really happy with their paychecks, satisfied that they're making enough money? What questions? A lot of people want more, and if you are working a minimum wage job, this is the story for you. Pam Regas has more.
A person working 40 hours a week earning minimum wage makes $8,840 a year, several $1,000s less than the federal poverty level. Minimum wage is currently $4.25 an hour. Florida is considering an increase to $6.45.
I think for the people who are on the hourly salary, I think it would help tremendously.
Apartment rate is real high. The cost for apartment. Utilities is real high. The clothing, everything is just going up.
Can you live off of minimum wage?
No, I need a second job.
If Florida's minimum wage is higher than other states, some fear that will create problems.
If you're attracting people from out of state because we have a higher minimum wage, they're the same people that have the same problems in making it on minimum wage. They're coming here and bringing those problems here.
Those in the restaurant and hotel business say increasing the wage would be a fatal blow.
I think it's a terrible idea for this time in our industry. You know, the hospitality industry is still reeling from some of the worst years in its history, and to raise the minimum wage by 52%, as this legislation now reads, would have a total detrimental effect on the ability for us to stay in business.
And of course, that bill still has a long way to go in Tallahassee. A few weeks ago, you may remember we had an advisory not to eat fresh oysters in Bay County after several people got sick after they ate some oysters. Well, as it turns out, the oysters themselves were not contaminated, but it may have been bad handling by consumers after the oysters were bought. So the question tonight is, what can you do to make sure that you get good seafood and to make sure you keep it that way? Well, we have a special report tonight from the Florida News Network.
For many people, the idea of fishing for something for dinner means checking out the local seafood market. But just how fresh is fresh? Are you buying a healthy meal, or are you jeopardizing your health? Seafood markets, as well as restaurants that serve fish in Duval County, are inspected by the health department as well as state and federal agencies, but not on a regular basis.
It's inspected in the routine process of inspecting any retail food outlet. But as far as like going to the dock side, no.
Ward says she is all for mandatory federal inspection of seafood, especially at dockside, where the catch can be easily mishandled or stored improperly, encouraging bacterial growth. When purchasing fish from a store, Ward says there are several ways to test whether it's fresh.
A fresh fish, healthy fish, is going to have bright red gills with no slime. Well, you get a little bit of slime, but not an off color. Fish that's starting to go, the eyes will sink in and be very sunken. The tissue will be very soft and flabby. The scales will come away easily, and most important, the gills will turn brown.
But one Mandarin fish store owner disagrees with Ward when it comes to checking the freshness of a fish by examining its eyes.
Depending on water temperature, depending on whether the fish was left in ice water for an amount of time, the eyes will change color, the gills will change color. The fishermen have a habit, especially on big fish, is they grab them by the eyeball. So that's not always a real good indication whether that eyeball is bulging or not as to whether he's fresh.
Williams also believes a fish store can smell somewhat fishy, but not like rancid fish. Ward warns consumers to stay away from prepared seafood salads like tuna fish, crab, or shrimp because of too much handling by others in preparation. She also says raw oysters should not be eaten under any circumstances.
Because oysters are filter feeders, and they pick up anything that's in the water that goes through them. And you can't, eat a raw oyster if it's got hepatitis and be safe. There's just no way.
Overall, Ward says using common sense when buying seafood will keep you coming back for more. Linnea Carlson for the Florida News Network.
And just for the record, that advisory in Bay County not to eat raw oysters was lifted several weeks ago and is no longer in effect. Well, sad to say, our perfect weather is about to come to an end.
That's right. It is no longer in effect. Some bad weather on the way. Stay with us.
Okay, everybody, freeze. Winn-Dixie has big savings during Frozen Food Month going on now. Check the freezer case for your favorite brands at great low prices. Save on Super Brand ice cream, ice milk, and shrimp at a super low 99 cents a half gallon. Stock up on Astor French fries while the 2-pound size is only 99 cents. And save big on Dano's Gourmet Pizza. All varieties are 3 for $5.99. Don't miss the savings during Frozen Food Month at Winn-Dixie, America's supermarket.
What will it take to satisfy Peg?
Money, prosperity, happiness.
Will Al get what he wants?
Al Bundy, you, sir, are maggot bits.
And what about the children?
We have a problem we'd like to ask Mom.
What's the matter? You can't learn from me? Find out.
What was I thinking? I said I did.
On the next Married with Children. You can get married. Weeknights at 10 to 30 on WMBB.
We're back now with weather. We've had such nice couple of days that anything other than that is going to seem bad, even a little bit of rain.
Yeah, the pendulum reaches the extreme. It's got to come back the other way a little bit, but it's not coming back bad temperature-wise. Temperature-wise, we'll make out okay that the rain in the skies might please you for the next couple of days. Let's see what we have out there right now. A growing cloud cover, 65, and no heat index or anything. Relative humidity, 78%. It's not climbing near as fast as last night, so I'm not too worried about that fog. Dew point 58, barometer 30, 13. It's steady right now. Winds calm both at the airport and at Tyndall Air Force Base offshore. A little breeze out of the southwest around 12 knots. Moderate 2 to 4 foot sea. That'll be typical tomorrow also. Water temp 64 degrees. And as we look aloft, here's our subtropical jet, or the Baja connection as they call it. Everything seems to travel along that in the way of low pressure. Low pressure developing out in this vicinity of Texas, creating some very intense thunderstorms. Usually it's developed down in here, but this is a very widespread, broad area of low pressure. Our high pressure is leaving us, so it leaves us wide open. The door is open for all the clouds to come in, and here they come in from the Gulf, nice and fresh, and some nice big ones in there, some of them producing now up into Alabama. If we look at the National Weather Service radar summary, you'll see that some of these are producing some light rain spreading from just north of Dothan all the way up into the Tuscumbia, Sheffield, Muscle Shoals area and across southern part of Arkansas, Oklahoma, and most intense showers, though, in central Texas. You see these areas of red and yellow. Here's the culprit, a little trough of low pressure and impulse running out ahead of a cold front, which will be approaching us and will be our rainmaker probably tomorrow night, more likely for Thursday. As we look at tomorrow morning's weather picture, we'll have to look at a little bit of a warm front being launched out just in advance of that cold front, as normally happens this time of year. That'll be a rainmaker for Louisiana and eventually us on Thursday. That's our best chance. We're just about a 70% chance of showers on that day. And you can see some clearing setting in behind it. It's going to take a while. Another band of rain to come through, unfortunately, during the weekend, but the likelihood of that is not as likely as Thursday's rain. Tonight, lows in the 50s, maybe stay in the 60 or 62 degrees along the coast. Tomorrow, we get into the 70s in spite of cloudy skies and a 20% chance of rain. That increases to 70% for Thursday, actually 50% tomorrow night. We'll stay in the 70s during the day. Slight chance of rain for Friday, same thing for Sunday. And overnight lows remaining in the 60s. Well, here are those tides. They're nothing to write home about because they're only about 3 inches at Panama City and at Fort St. Joe. Appalachia with, of course, a 1.5 range on their tides. They have a totally different tidal rhythm than we do. Southeast winds at 10 to 15 offshore tomorrow, 2 to 4 foot seas should be pretty decent. Inland waters a little bit on the choppy side. Our forecast for the rest of tonight, partly cloudy sky, becoming increasingly cloudy. Lows averaging about 53 and light variable winds. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, but only a 20% chance of rain before sunset. Highs ranging 70 to 75. Southeast winds at 10 to 15. And tomorrow night, cloudy 50-50 on the thunderstorms. Low of 60. Our high today made it to 73. The record 77. The overnight low last night 49. The record for the state 22 was set back in 1980.
It is staying nice and warm. I guess the freezing's over with.
Yeah, I guess we can just call it quits for winter and just pretend like it's spring now.
Excellent. Thanks, Norm.
In other news around the world, it seems like they're never ending. The Mideast peace talks, that is. Delegations are meeting for another night in Washington. Tomorrow, this round of talks wraps up, and as far as progress, not too much to report. The obstacle, once again, trying to get Palestinian self-rule in the occupied territories.
A little bit closer to home, the streets of New Orleans are packed with partiers tonight. It's Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday, the day before Lent, and people have been working up to a frenzy all day in the streets. About 1 million people showed up for the annual celebration, And as far as trouble, police say it isn't that bad tonight. And even closer to home, back home in Florida, police in Cocoa, Florida have raided a nursing home. They say they found some of the old people there living in filthy and disgusting conditions. Sharon Dennis has more from Cocoa.
What do you think about this?
I don't have any comment.
Connie Coons is going to jail, charged with abuse and neglect at this retirement center. This man lives here. Has anything happened to you?
Yeah,
What's happened to you?
I've been held here against my will. And I'm not supposed to be held against my will.
He says it is the management holding him against his will, but an employee here defends the treatment of these retirees.
I've only been here a short time, and since I've been here, I haven't seen anything wrong.
Cocoa police say the 3-month investigation began after a former employee turned over a videotape.
In the video, there is 2 people that are restrained to their beds. They're tied. There was also one gentleman who was laying in his own excrement. I'm just totally shocked. I'm totally shocked that this happened here. And as we delve deeper and deeper into the investigation, it's just one shocking thing after another.
Sharon Dennis, Florida News Network.
Sports is up next. Gulf Coast and Chipola left for Bradenton today.
And would time run out tonight on Mosley or Washington?
If you're suffering from back pain, neck pain, headaches, leg or arm pain, or if you're just sick and tired of being sick and tired, please listen carefully.
Cairo Network Healthcare Center.
Your initial evaluation, including 2 free x-rays, are at no charge at Cairo Network Healthcare Centers. Your 2 free x-rays will help us to locate and evaluate your problem and determine whether chiropractic care is appropriate for you. So why not find out at no risk whether chiropractic is the answer to your health problems? After all, the only thing you have to lose is your health.
Hi, I'm Kim Johns, Vice President of People's First. Interest paid on most consumer debt is no longer tax deductible. However, interest you pay on a home equity loan is tax deductible in most cases. If you already have a home equity loan, you can still take advantage of today's low interest rate by refinancing that loan at People's First. Be a tax-wise homeowner. Visit People's First for your home equity loan.
People's First, first for you.
Paul is back, and when you're in the playoffs and you find yourself up against a losing team, you say, oh boy, this is great.
Yeah, particularly when you're at home. But, oh boy, when it comes to the playoffs, forget about the records. A big concern for Mosley head coach Ron Ossock. Do not underestimate Pensacola, Washington. Despite an 11-17 losing record, the Cougars have been playing like winners. Mosley hosting the regional title game against Washington. And you got to get it to Fred Trammell, says Ossock, and Fred chipping in 31 points. Look at him go one-on-one. Mosley building the lead against a pesky and pressing defense all night from Washington. Trammell finds the open man, Randy Pittman, who puts in 2. Mosley up by 5 at the half, but Washington would come back, and Mosley trailed it. Matt Griffin, beautiful pass to Pittman. This game would be nipped and tucked, 73-73. Then Pittman again. He got fouled, but he missed the free throw. Story of the night for Mosley. Instead of taking the lead, the game was tied, and then with 10 seconds left, watch Prentice Lindsey go inside. He hits it. He's fouled with 1 second left, and that did it. Lindsey's buzzer beater ends Mosley's season. 80-78. Dolphins finish 16-11 over in Havana. Havana, the only team to beat Rickards all year. Rickards a winner, by the way, tonight. And the Chipley season, Tony Davis with 34. And FAMU held off a attempted buzzer beater by Sneed. Sneed's missed a potential game winner. So FAMU advances with a 1-point win. And the Baby Rattlers will now take on Malone. Malone, a packed house we go to welcome Baker to, yes, zooming in on the state champion Tigers. And they ruled at home. Doug Johnson, look at the move, look at the pop. He nailed it, 2 points, or make it 3 of his 18. Malone led 24-6 after 1. And then the Rocket, yeah, Rodney Jackson hammering away. Malone up big, 47-23 at the half. The crowd knew it, and more Rodney Jackson. He knocked in 7 of these threes. All Malone tonight as they win it big. 91-61 as defending 1A champions cruise to a 30-point victory. Off the state, Gulf Coast and Chipola, both needing a 3-game winning streak to bring home a state championship. However, only one of the 8 teams can do just that. The Commodores and Indians get their shot on Thursday. And is there any more comeback left in Gulf Coast? The Commodores came back numerous times to reach the state tournament. They'll tip off against top-ranked Palm Beach in round 1.
They're big inside, and they've got good guards. That's a pretty tough combination to have to try to defend. But, obviously they're the best team in the state, ranked in the top 20 in the nation. It's going to be quite a challenge.
Place to our objective is trying to win the state tournament, which I'm sure 8 other coaches have done the same thing going down there. But we're trying to focus in and keep their attention on what they're doing, keep them, relatively prepared to play.
And Milton Johnson's Indians, which came out ahead of Pensacola and Gulf Coast in that tiebreaker, will play Florida College Thursday night. The 3rd-ranked Indians were upset in the first round of the state tourney last season. A little extra motivation for Chipola. Gulf Coast baseball team was holding on to a 4-1 lead against Chipola, but then came the 4th inning. Up came Randy Milliken with an Indian aboard, and knock on wood, he would send this one out of the park off the tree. This tied the game at 4-4. Then in the 7th, Paul Bryant would deliver the game winner, a sacrifice fly to center. Barry Nesbitt's throw would not get the runner in time. Chipola would come back to win game 1 5-4, and they took the doubleheader. They win the second game 8-5. Gulf Coast is now 0-3 in conference play. They'll be back at it as they travel to Okaloosa-Walton on Friday. They'll return home on Saturday to play OW. And what could be next for Mike Powell? Well, the world record holder for the long jump is ready to take a bigger leap in history. Powell wants to soar to 30 feet. He broke Bob Beeman's long-standing world record last year in Japan. The 28-year-old leaped 29 feet 4.5 inches. He won the Sullivan Award as the nation's top amateur. That was last night in Indianapolis.
Wish him well. High school basketball, congratulations, Malone. But other than that, kind of a rough night for local teams.
Yeah, rough night for local teams. And the Graceville girls, by the way, will play Saturday or this week, Thursday, in the state semifinals. Or make it Friday. It's Friday, trust me. I can say.
Okay, thanks, Paul.
Well, we've heard of all kinds of races, horse races, car races.
But who ever heard of a pancake race? We'll go to one right after this.
Lazy Boy Showcase shops are noted for quality, service, and low price. We are offering one of our finest Lazy Boy full reclining sofas in a select group of fabrics. Sale priced for $6.99. Now is the time to special order that Lazy Boy sofa you've been wanting at a savings up to $330. Over 200 fabrics and colors to choose from. How about a Lazy Boy recliner for only $259? See the total selection of Lazy Boy products at both Lazy Boy Showcase shops in Dothan and Panama City.
On the next Eyewitness News Midday, we'll talk about the upcoming elections on Super Tuesday here in Florida. Election Supervisor Gladys Chapman will be here. We'll find out just how many Democrats and Republicans there are out there. Also, we'll find out about a unique program in our area to get religious materials to people in other countries who desperately need them. Also, we'll have a special recipe on our cooking segment you won't want to miss. All this plus the very latest news and weather. I'm Cynthia Gould. We hope you'll join us.
And finally, pancake breakfasts are very common. We see them in every town in America.
But one American city takes it to the limits and competes with a city in England. So it's liberal Kansas versus only England. And today some crazy things were happening. Women in a race to the finish line while flipping flapjacks. Pretty serious and bizarre stuff, but America took the English.
Great, and a pancake was dropped.
That's right.
Thank you for joining us.
Good night.
No place else like Sonic.
Gee, I'm really ready for something different. I think I'll have...
We always have steak and taters, right, Pop?
Yeah, a chicken fried steak sandwich.
Taters. Don't forget tater tots, Pop.
Hey, what a great idea. Steak and taters, only $2.49.
Here's your steak and taters, Mr. Avalon.
Now, Paul, settle down.
No place else like Sonic.
Hi, I'm Regis Philbin.
And I'm Kathy Lee Gifford. You know, Reese, I'm not so sure I'm up to this trip to Los Angeles. The packing, the jet lag.
Yeah, but look, wait a minute, look who's joining us.
Oh, yeah?
On the next Live from Hollywood, he left Saturday Night Live for his own late-night talk show. We'll see how Dennis Miller is doing.
And this actress has played everything from a princess to a prostitute. Leslie Ann Warren will be here.
All on the next Live.
All right, so I'll be there.
And you should be, too, for the next Live.
From Hollywood.
Live with Regis and Kathy Lee, Wednesday at 9 on WMBB.
Hi, I'm Sharon Anderson, owner of D. Herbert's Women's Apparel, and I'd like to invite you down to shop with us at D. Herbert's. Come see our fine selection and courteous service.
You're watching WMBB TV, your ABC station. Tommy.
I gotta fight.
Lincoln.
This is my ticket.
Two fighters.
Get him.
From different worlds.
You're mine. You fight against who I say.
From opposite sides.
I want us to kill each other.
Their friendship broke the rules.
I ain't gonna fight you.
Their courage beat the odds.
You don't say no to me, boy. No.
Their triumph rocked their world. Gladiator. Rated R. Starts Friday at a theater near you.
There was a time I had trouble getting around. I had to depend on others to help me. Now it feels great to have independence with a rascal scooter from Electric Mobility.
If you or someone you know needs low-cost personal transportation, call this number for a free catalog on Rascal 3- and 4-wheel electric scooters. The Rascal is so easy to operate, you can control it with just one hand. Plus, your Rascal is portable with a unique take-apart frame. Take advantage of our money-saving offers, easy payment plan, free test drive, and see if you qualify for partial or, in some cases, full medical insurance reimbursement. Call for a free catalog and to learn about our money-saving offers. You can even arrange a free, no-obligation test drive. Call toll-free 1-800-543-5500. 1-800-543-5500. Call now, 1-800-543-5500.
If you missed Paul last month as he took to the ring with local wrestlers, don't worry, there's more to come. TV 13 announces the Paul Joseph Strong Challenge. Send in your request to compete with Paul. Maybe you're a faster runner or a better diver. Professional or amateur, Paul is ready for you. Write to the Paul Joseph Challenge, P.O. Box 1340, Panama City. Paul Joseph, ready to meet your challenge.
We have no actual proof that you are disabled.
You want the proof? Here's the proof. Every day is a battle between the way things are and the way they should be.
He's a veteran, Henry.
What's the difference?
But in a house full of forgotten heroes...
Here, take this. I got nobody else to give it to.
There's a handful of doctors who care.
You better treat him as well as you treat your father, so help me God, I'll break your neck.
Ray Liotta, Kiefer Sutherland, Article 99, rated R. Starts Friday, March 13th at a theater near you.
But first, may we have weapons on the sofa?
Hey, search me, I'm clean.
Kaleidoscope Theater celebrates their 21st season with the suspense thriller by Frederick Knox. Wait until dark. Struggle to outwit a group of terrorists. It's a great performance for all ages. Tickets on sale now at Kaleidoscope Theater, just off Highway 77 at the Lynn Haven Post Office. Call for information and performance times. Wait until dark. A Kaleidoscope Theater production.
With alcohol and drugs, there comes a crossroads when you know you must make a decision and go somewhere. But every direction seems blocked. The thing is, you don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to clear a path by yourself. You just have to make the call.
Crossroads, the first step to effective care, recovery, and family support. Call 800-922-7522, day or night.
Domestic Laundry and Cleaners announces the opening of another location on East Highway 98 near Tyndall. Domestic Downtown has long had the reputation for fast service and superb cleaning. Our two processes for wool and silk take extra care of your fine goods. Domestic Laundry and Cleaners has the largest cleaning machines in this area to handle those big items. Remember, Domestic Laundry and Cleaners has 3 locations to serve you. On Grace Avenue downtown, in the Albertsons Plaza, and now on East Highway 98 near Tyndall.
Next time on Cheers, Cliff takes on a trainee.
Those rookies, yeah, they just get in your way, ask you stupid questions. Throw off your old rhythm. Oh, God, this won't slow down the mail, will it?
But he gets a special delivery when the new girl sends him a love letter sealed with a kiss.
I wish there was a way I could be closer to you.
Yeah, scooch on over.
Cliffy, you old love dog.
We say down the post office, he's looking up your address.
Yeah, next time on Cheers.
Cheers, Tuesday at 11 on WMBB.